As technology continues to advance, the emergence of new realities such as the realm of virtual reality becomes a discussion for many. And as we continue to accept this cutting-edge technology, we can see boundaries being redefined every single day. Now, what is the future for VR for a lot of industries, and how can we solve some of the issues and challenges we see today with it? My name is Savy Storey, and let's talk VR. So about 3 years ago, I was scrolling through YouTube trying to watch a couple of videos just to entertain myself when I came across this one particular video that really caught my attention. I really didn't know what it was about, and I didn't really understand what VR really meant. But when I watched the video, the only thing I could think of is how heartbreaking it was.
In the video, we see Ji-sung, a mother who lost her 6-year-old daughter Nayeon to leukemia in 2016. Seeing Ji-sung coping with grief and feelings of longing, with the help of green screen studio and real-time rendering technology, Lee Hyun-suk, director of Vive Studios in Seoul, created a virtual world to give the mother an opportunity to reunite with her daughter once more, allowing her to interact with her child as if she was still with her today.
I'll be honest, before watching this video on YouTube, I had never really considered what it would be like to be in someone's shoes to experience that sort of grief or loneliness or longing for someone. I could really only imagine what Ji-sung was feeling after having that very intimate and very fulfilling interaction with her daughter, even through virtual reality. It really got me thinking though, what could VR do for people who are going through that kind of grief or going through emotions that they may not understand? Or how could this help people in the long run, especially if they're dealing with poor mental health? Before I dive into this topic, I'd like to give you a better explanation of what VR actually is. So Robert Sheldon describes it as a 3D environment that allows users to explore and interact with a virtual interface that simulates real life with the help of their own senses. Now, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, about 42.9% of people aged 16 to 85 have gone through some sort of issues with mental health. Considering the fact that this number totals 8.5 million people in Australia, that is a relatively high number. We need to consider the fact that there are about 26.4 million people living in Australia. So we can see that VR could be very beneficial for people going through mental health and going through some sort of therapy for it. Virtual reality really could be a helpful tool in the mental health industry. And according to Bell, there are 3 things that have benefited the mental health industry so far because of VR. First thing is the control and manipulation of a VR environment. Now, researchers have actually used this in their benefit while using paranoid patients and putting them in a scenario where they're in a train with a lot of people and putting them at a height where they're shorter than everyone else and taller than everyone else. What researchers found is that when patients were put in a scenario where they were shorter than everyone else, they actually reflected negative emotions towards themselves, meaning that it shows the connection of emotion between paranoia and the way someone perceives themselves. The second thing, as I actually mentioned previously, is VR is able to personalize itself to what users may need and tailor fit to what a patient may be going through. Now, an example of this is exposure therapy for soldiers who deal with PTSD. Now, being able to control what a patient needs means that you can control the variables that are in the virtual realm that they are looking at. Now, the last thing is actually enhancing ecological validity. Now, some people may not think about it, but when you put a patient through a scenario where they're going through exposure therapy, for example, and they're looking at a picture, that may not really translate the same feelings or emotions as if they were going through it in real life. Researchers have actually used this for people who struggle with eating disorders, putting them in an environment where they see food or where they see a kitchen or anything particular. And they've noticed that when they actually are put in a VR setting where they're looking at these objects or things, they are presenting similar implications of emotions that they actually would feel in real life if they saw the same things. So to conclude this video, I think it's just important to point out that VR has so many benefits that it could give to people in the mental health industry. Not only can it help patients immerse themselves in a scenario that may be beneficial for them instead of just doing one-on-one therapy where they're talking and looking at images, but allows themselves to actually interact with the world around them and simulate real-life experiences. That's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you for the next one hopefully soon.